Kareem, amma ba'd, fa'auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Inshallah, we are doing Juz 15, Sautul Quran, English. We are doing summary of this, and we are not doing ayah by ayah, just we are seeing the summary. Today in this class we'll do Suratul Isra, we'll complete whole Isra, and Suratul Kahf till ayah number 110. Let's start inshallah. Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. So here, Subhanallazi asra bi abdihi laylan minal masjidil harami ila masjidil aqsa allazi barakna hawlahu linuriya min ayatina innahu huwas samiul basir. So here, Subhanallazi, it starts with Subhan, all the praises. The perfect is Allah. And Allazi asra bi abdihi, who took his servant, bi abdihi laylan, by the night. From where? Minal masjidil haram. His servant, who is, we are talking about here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And minal masjidil haram ila masjidil aqsa, but the night from the masjidil haram to masjidil aqsa, the mosque whose surrounding we have blessed. Ila masjidil aqsa allazi barakna hawlahu linuriyahu. And why was his servant taken on this journey? To show him our signs. Indeed, he is hearing the seeing. So 1 year before the Prophet ﷺ migrated to Medina, 1 year before the Hijrah, circumstances in Makkah were becoming increasingly difficult for him. So the Prophet ﷺ had by now spent about 12 years in the Makkah, calling people to worship alone Allah, and the only response he had received in return was refusal and stubbornness, opposition, violence, mockery, false propaganda, and the list goes on. And with the time, the pressure had only increased, and it has intensified, and this is something that saddens Prophet ﷺ. Because of you have been opposed for 12 years, was 12 solid years you have been opposed. So, you have been repulsed, then you begin to doubt yourself, isn't it? Sometimes it happens, we are human beings. So, you know that you are doing the right thing. So he was wondering what happened. And here, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with his special mercy bestowed a huge favor, a huge gift to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And what was the gift? The gift of Isra and the gift of Mi'raj. What is Isra? The night journey. That in one night, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was taken from Al-Masjid al-Haram to Masjid al-Aqsa. Masjid al-Haram is in Makkah, and Masjid al-Aqsa is in Jerusalem, Palestine. And so in one night he was taken there, taken up to the skies and then back also. This happened in one night. This was a huge favor, a huge gift of Allah. Then he was taken to Jerusalem. From there he was taken to the sky above, and this is what is known as Isra and Miraj. In this journey, the Prophet ﷺ was shown numerous gifts, numerous signs, as Allah mentioned in this ayah. And these signs, the Prophet ﷺ was shown both in this world and also in the sky above. And this is something that gives confidence to Prophet ﷺ. It gives him reassurance. And in this journey, we learned that Prophet ﷺ also led all the prophets in prayer. He met various prophets, he was shown paradise, Jannah and hellfire. And he was shown various punishments that people were being given. So this journey was not in a realm, but we are in right now, because many people, when they have learned about this part of the life of Prophet ﷺ, they find it difficult to understand. Because we are thinking about in the worldly terms, how could you possibly travel in one night and all the way to Jerusalem and then skies above and across, then be back while the bed is still warm? Yes, it can happen. When we believe in Ghaib, and we said we believe in Ghaib, not according to the laws of physics, but we are aware of what was the huge favor of Allah. And this was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He can do anything. He wants to take a servant in one night and back and forth from the sky and down. He can do that. It's not difficult for him. Why would be it difficult for him? Because if you just observe the creation, if you look the massive size of the universe alone, to realize that of this came about from nothing. It was nothing. It didn't exist. This is something that we all are. Everybody wonders how old this universe is. When you are thinking about the age of the universe, you think about the birth of the universe, and so forth. Just 500 years ago, if you told something about germs, they would laugh at you. If you told somebody about virus and bacteria, they would laugh at you. Why? Because this was something the human beings did not know. So likewise, this something perhaps we cannot understand with our minds, with the knowledge we have. How is that? Prophet ﷺ went on this night journey, right? He went. And especially when people say that he went on a winged horse, well, the buraq is not a winged horse, alright? The Prophet ﷺ said he was taken on buraq, and buraq is the creature. It's a creature, meaning it's a different kind of creature that is bigger than a mule, smaller than a horse. So it looks like a horse, but it's not actually a horse. Nowhere did the Prophet ﷺ said that it had wings, because if it had wings, yes, it would have to move its wings in order to fly. But Prophet ﷺ, that is the speed was the speed of sight. The speed of sight means the speed of vision, meaning its next step would be as far as the vision would go. So you are not talking about a rocket or spaceship or anything that we are familiar with. This is something from out of this world. That is exactly what this journey was about. Out of this world, because this entire universe, this creation belongs to who? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It belongs to Allah, and He can take His servant from one realm to another back in no time. It's up to Him. He can do anything. So when we say Subhanallazi, perfect is Allah, the one who bestowed this huge favor on his messenger. And in the journey of Prophet ﷺ, when he returned with some gifts and some messages for us. What were the gifts? We learned Prophet ﷺ was given 3 things on this journey. He was given the 5 daily prayers, which were initially 50. And then on Musa al-Islam recommended, what happened? It was reduced to half, then less, and eventually it came to 5. And Prophet ﷺ said, I feel shy to go back and reduce less than the 5. So he returned with the gift of 5 daily prayer, which means that before the Isra, the Prophet ﷺ prayed, but did not pray 5 daily prayers, because the command was not there. At this time, Allah gifted him gift of praise. Why? Because he need this gift the most at this time. Because when you are facing the opposition of people, when you need the strength, your faith in Allah, you need to beg Him to the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Prophet ﷺ returned with the gift of Salat and also concluding verses of Surah Al-Baqarah. The concluding verses means the last 2 ayahs of Surah Al-Baqarah. Jibreel al-Islam was not sent down with those verses, rather he was called up in order to receive those verses. And that shows the value of the verses, which is why Prophet ﷺ said that whoever recites them in night, then these verses will be sufficient for him. Sufficient for him means from worries, anxieties, griefs, from all the things. And also the gift of forgiveness. For among the ummah who do not associate anything with Allah, then ultimately Allah will forgive every single muhid, the one who believes, those who do tawheed, believing in one Allah. Prophet ﷺ also met certain prophets, like for example met Ibrahim al-Islam. Prophet ﷺ said, I met Ibrahim al-Islam on the night journey, and he said, O Muhammad ﷺ, say my salam to Ummah. Are you the part of Ummah? Rasulullah ﷺ, Prophet ﷺ gave Ummah the salam. So we should say, Wa alaikum salam. And also, O Allah, forgive me and forgive all the believers. He asked for the forgiveness. So here we have seen the details of it, and here during the Miraj he saw a group of people who were scratching their chest and their faces copper nails. I asked, who are these people? Jibreel alayhi salam said, these are the people who ate flesh of the others by backbiting and trample people's honor. And they had no respect for others' honor, and such people will torture themselves in the hereafter. And another punishment which Prophet ﷺ was shown, he said, I was taken for journey and I passed by a group of people whose lips were being cut by the scissor of the fire. I asked, who are they? And he was told, they are qataba, like the people, the world, meaning the speakers, the orators. And they are khatib, they give lectures. Those who would order people to do good, but forgot themselves. They didn't do good for themselves. And they are those who read the book, they did not understand. So let's move to further ayahs, inshallah. So in ayah number 5, so when the time of promise came for the first of them, we sent against you the servants of ours, those of great military might, meaning your enemy was stronger than you. The first occasion of fasad, the first time you spread corruption on the earth, what happened? We sent against you people who are mightier than you, stronger than you. They probed even into the homes, meaning they are spread everywhere in your lands. They fully assault you. It was a promised, fulfilled. And here later we see in ahsantum li anfusikum. If you do good, you do good for yourself. Only means when you reform yourself, when you fix your behavior, who do you benefit? You benefit yourself. Like for example, if a person corrects their eating habit, or is there any benefit? Yes, it is benefit. The same thing for the case of the iman. In ahsantum li anfusikum, it's for our. But if you do evil, that is for yourself. Prophet ﷺ said, if any one of you improve his deen, meaning his obedience to Allah, then his good deeds will be rewarded 10 times to 700 times for each good deed, and a bad deed will be recorded as it is. Look at the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And here later we see, Inna hazal Qur'ana an yahdi lillati hiya aqwam. Indeed, this Qur'an guides to that which is most suitable, meaning he who wishes to find the right way, the best way in life through its difficulty and trials, what is that? He needs to turn to Qur'an. So we should all turn to Qur'an, because that is aqwam. And later on in ayah number 12, it's mentioned how the day and night are two signs. And here ayah number 13, to every person we have imposed his fate upon his neck. Fate upon our neck, meaning the deeds that a person has committed and outcome of those deeds, they are tied to a person. There is no escape from that. Once we do an action, it is recorded in our deeds, and once we have performed an action, that is the consequence we will have to face. Does not that happen in the life? It like for example, whatever we are doing, each and every minute thing. Now it's easy to imagine, because if you see a small chip, how the things are recorded. The same way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will record each and everything. We will produce for him on the day of resurrection a record which he will encounter spread open. It will be spread open, wide open. And iqra kitabaka, it will be said, read your record. Sufficient is yourself against you this as account. And and وَحُصِّلَ مَا فِي الصُّدُورِ, Suratul Adiyat, we have seen whatever in your sudur, that will be known to everyone. And so that, oh Allah, forgive me what I have sent ahead, what I have deferred. Allahumma aghfirli ma qaddamtu wa ma akhrartu wa ma asrartu wa ma alantu wa ma asraftu wa ma anta alamu bihi minni. Anta muqaddimu wa anta mu'akhiru la ilaha illa ant. This is a beautiful dua you can recite, inshallah. And later here we see in ayah number 15, who is guided, only guided for the benefit of his soul, if you are guided. But whoever is in error, it's against yourself. And later we see But whoever should desire the hereafter, his goal is Jannah, he is passionate about the Akhirah. Allahumma la aisha akhirah. Oh Allah, there is no life except the life of the hereafter. So ask, once the Prophet ﷺ said to Abu Zar radiyallahu anhu, that Abu Zar, I do not wish to have gold or silver like Mount Ahad. Have you seen Mount Ahad? Have you seen, just like, if you see, it's a huge, but what he, it's a, the Prophet ﷺ said, I don't want gold or silver like Mount Ahad, except that I should spend in the way of Allah. Whatever he gets, he said, I'm gonna spend in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala later on mentioned, how parent, you have to do good with your two parents, and here it says clearly in ayah number 23, and your Lord has decreed that you do not worship except Allah, and two parents good treatment. And the Prophet ﷺ asked, what are the deeds that are best? He said, to perform the daily prayers at their times, to perform the prayers at the correct times. And he was asked, what next? To be good and dutiful to the parents. Whether one or both of them reach old age while with you, meaning either your mother or father, say not to them as much as of. Do not even say of. What is of? Of is kalima kariha. The filth in, when you use your Q-tip, the filth will be stuck to it. Or the, something underneath your nail, that is the kariha. So that's how, don't even say of. It's a small kalima, don't even say. وَقُلْ لَهُمَا قَوْلًا كَرِيمًا. What you have to say, speak very good words, noble words. And lower to them the wing of humility out of mercy. And what you should do, رَبِّرْحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِي صَغِيرًا. That is ayah number 24. Oh my Lord, have mercy upon them as they brought up when I was small. It's a beautiful dua, whether parents are alive or dead. You have to make this dua and intentionally understand what you are saying. When you were small, they did mercy, so now you do mercy upon them. And mercy is very important. Mercy is such a thing that, Allah is merciful. So be merciful to the creation. So if you are merciful to them, and Allah will be merciful to you. And later on we learn to give the half of the rights of the relatives, poor and traveler. Indeed, the wasteful are the brothers of the devil. And here, and if you must turn away from the needy, awaiting mercy from your Lord, which you expect, then speak to them a gentle word. And later on we see how the people are very in ujla. Whatever comes in their mouth, they will say. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, when you talk, when you speak, you have to check your speak, what you are saying. And kullu zalika, and that its evil is ever in the sight of your Lord detested. So why they are detested? Do not walk upon earth exultantly. Indeed, you will never tear the earth apart, and you will never reach the mountains in height. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying you are not able to do any. And tusabbi lahu ma fis samawati. Here the seven heavens and earth, what is in the exalts Allah. Everything is doing tasbih. So here subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, we can do that tasbih. And also subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, and we can say subhanallahi bihamdi subhanallahil azim. And these are the words which are lighter on the tongue but heavier in the scale. When you recite Quran, we put between you and those who do not believe hereafter a concealed partition. And later on we understand that here وَقُلْ لِلْعِبَادِ يَقُولُ الَّتِي أَحْسَنُ, and tell my servants to say that is which is best. So say the good words. And here we learn in ayah number 64, an insight to senselessness, meaning drive them crazy so that they just blindly following you. You are leading them astray, and they don't even think about what they are doing, what they are saying, how they are acting, how they are behaving. They have gone mad literally in obedience to you. And this is what happens when a person becomes a slave of shaitan. he can say a string of curse words, and he does not even feel it. He does not feel that it was something bad. And inside to senselessness whoever you can among them with your voice, and assault them with your horses, food, soldier, and become a partner, share their wealth and children. Here we see Shaitan different tactics, how he comes with the voice, with the different instrument, with the children and the wealth. But inna ibadi laysa laka alayhim sultan. But few of my servants which you can't overcome. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, you don't have any power over them. You can't do anything. And whoever is blind in this world will be blind in the hereafter as well. More astray way. Literally they are blind? No, they are blind to the Quran. They don't understand the Quran. That's what it means. Establish prayer at the decline of suns from its meridian, meaning when the sun becomes decline, which is noon time after the point onwards, then start establishing prayer. So Zuhr prayer, then after Zuhr Asr, after Asr ends Maghrib prayer, and then Isha until the darkness of night, and this is referring to Salatul Isha, and also the Quran of the dawn. In the Quran of Fajr, Kana Fajr Mashhuda. Like when you recite Quran in the Fajr time, it will be mashhud, it will be witnessed. And here later on we learn from ayah number 87, except as a mercy from your Lord. Did you understand? If Allah wants, He can take away the Quran after giving to the person. We could surely do away with that which we reveal to you. Rahmat min Rabbika means it's the mercy of Allah, the mercy of your Lord. Inna fadlahu kana alayka kabira. Indeed, His favor upon you has ever been great. And later here we learn in ayah number 94, and whatever prevent people from believing when guidance came to them, except that they said, has Allah sent a human messenger? They don't want to believe in human messenger. And here in ayah number 106, it is the Quran we have separated by intervals, and that you might recite to the people over a prolonged period. And here in later on we see here in ayah number 111, we end the Suratul Isra here. وَقُلِ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ الَّذِي لَمْ يَتَّخِذُ وَلَدًا. And say all praises to Allah who has not taken a child and has no partner in His dominion and has no need of protector. Out of weakness and glory Him. وَكَبِّرْهُ تَكْبِيرًا. With great glorification. So here proclaiming the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So here we end this Suratul Isra, and inshallah we start Suratul Kahf. Bismillah Rahmanir Rahim. And here Alhamdulillahi allazi anzala ala abdihil kitaba walam yaj'al lahu iwaja. All praises is due to Allah who has sent down upon His servant the book. He has not bid therein any deviation. Suratul Kahf is the surah which is a source of light for the person who recites it correctly. The Prophet ﷺ said that he who recites Suratul Kahf as it was revealed, Kama unzilat, it will be for him a light from where he is all the way to Makkah on the day of Qiyamah. So further you are from Makkah, if you recite Suratul Kahf, like how the light will be. So inshallah, who reads its last 10 verses will be safe from fitna of Dajjal when he emerges. In another hadith we learned that Prophet ﷺ said, if anyone learns by heart the first 10 verses of Suratul Kahf, they will be protected from Dajjal. So we have to, if you could memorize it, that would be really nice. And here we learn praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and how it is qayyim. And there later on then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is asafa, his sorrow and grief, because he is propagating the deen, and the people of Makkah, they are not understanding it. And the first story comes how the bunch of youngsters, they went out and they struggled in the way of Allah for the Islamic monotheism. And then even though persecution was there, they didn't give up, and they took in the they went in the cave, and they were there for many years, and with the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved them. Rabbana Atina min ladunka rahmatan wa hayyi lana min amrina rashada. Grant us from yourself mercy and prepare for us from our affairs after guidance. And this is beautiful dua. In hadith we learn that indeed your Lord is amazed at the youth in whom there is no sabu. Means sabu is the mil'ul ila lahu. It is basically inclination, you know to have fun, right? To pursue sensual desires, to fulfill them. You could say youthful possession, right? This is what sabu. So the person who such good control over, even though that desire is there, but still you are controlling that. And then these our people have taken besides him deities. Why do you not bring for worship them a clear authority? This, the youth, they were asleep, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, had you been present, you would see sun when it rose inclining away from the cave on the right. And with them they were a dog, and even he was asleep. And after many years, and you would think them awake while they were asleep. Even they were turning their sides, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even put the sunlight over there, and we turned them to the right and to left while the dog stretched his forelegs at the entrance. Dog as if he was sitting, people would get awe and they won't come. If you had looked at them, you would have turned from them in a flight and been filled by them. And similarly we awakened them that might question one another, and they asked, said speaker from among them, how long we have remained? And some said part of the day. The another said, maybe this time. And then one person sent with the coin, and they went into the city. What is the best food they can? And here they said they want ta'am, and that too the food should be very azka ta'aman, pure and good food. And in this ayah number 19, we see a word called walayatalattaf, and the whole Quran is half over there. And let not anyone be aware of you. And here, they said you have to go cautiously and carefully, and then you come back. They say they were 3/4 of them, their dog. And they talk about how many of them were there and how long they were sleeping. And then remember when you forgot it, and say, perhaps my Lord will guide me. What is near, that is to right guide. May Allah guide us all. That's what they were saying. This was the first story mentioned over here. And later on, وَضْرِبْ لَهُمْ مَثْلٌ رَجُلَيْنِ, and about the example of, and the present to man example of two men, two friends, two people were granted to one of them to the gardens of grapevines, and B bordered them with the palm trees, and placed between them fields of crops. Each of them 2 gardens produced fruits, that full of fruits and everything, and water gush forth. So one was doing the conversation with the other, but he was very proud of himself, having so many things. His companion said to him while he was conversing with him, have you disbelieved in he who created you from dust and then from sperm drop and proportionate you? Because he was doing takabbur, so that's what he was reminding. But as for me, he is Allah my Lord, and I do not associate with my Lord anyone. And why did you, when you enter your garden, not say what Allah will? Why didn't you say, mashallah la quwwata illa billah? There is no power except Allah. Now we here learn that we should say, mashallah, tabarakallah. It may be that my Lord will give something better than your garden, will send upon a calamity from the sky, it will become a smooth. The person is saying, calamity may hit it, and it may go, everything may destroy. But he is not cursing here. We have to understand that. Later on we have seen everything was destroyed, and so just to teach him a lesson, because he was not thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he was doing takabbur on his garden, and not only that, also he was talking about himself so much, and he was, the most important thing, he was not thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And later on we see, like when the day when we will be removed from the mountains and you will see the earth prominent, we will gather them and not leave behind from them anyone. On the day of resurrection, everything will be smooth, like it's like a barren land. Have you seen like flat bread? That's how it's gonna be. And one of the day when he will call my partners whom you claim, and they invoke them, but they will not respond to them, we will put them a valley of destruction. And here, when we should not messenger except as bringer of good tidings and warners. Whenever messengers come, they are for good tidings and warners. وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى لِفَتَاهُ in ayah number 60, and mention when Musa alayhi salam said to his servant, La abrahu, I will not cease, I will not stop until I reach the junction of the two seas. Why Musa alayhi salam is going? Once Musa alayhi salam was asked who is more knowledgeable, so he said himself, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informed him, go and meet Khazar. And then there will be a place where the fishes will go from the they will become alive and go into the pond, and that is the sign. And they were going there with Musa alayhi salam. Yusuf bin Nun was there, and they will keep on going. And one place he said, where is my morning breakfast? I want to eat. That time he didn't realize, when he he was sleepy, that time that fish, it went into the water. And later on when he asked for the morning breakfast, he said, oh, I don't see here fish. And that fish, that time it went there in the sea. And then that time he said, oh, that was the place we have to go. And then they went back over there. So when they had passed beyond it, Musa alayhi salam said to this boy, bring us our morning meal. We have certainly suffered in this. And then he mentioned, okay, this is the thing happened. And what happened? He said, indeed with me you will never be. And then they said, okay, let's go back. قال له موسى هل أتبعك على تعلمني. And this is the thing, Musa alayhi salam has been whatever the Musa alayhi salam taught, this is informing to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And here when Khazar met and Yusuf bin Nun, he went off. And now he is teaching some things. And here he said, you have to keep the patience. Who? Musa alayhi salam. So Musa alayhi salam said, you will find me if Allah wills patience, and I will not disobey you. So they were going. He said, if you follow me, do not ask me about anything until make to you about it. So he said, okay, let's go. And they were going. And did I not say that with me you would never be able to be patient? In ayah number 72, he was not patient because he have you torn it upon drown its people? On there was a ship, and he broke the ship, that thing. So they set out forgive until when they met a boy. Khazar killed that boy. Musa alayhi salam said, have you killed a pure soul for other than having killed a soul? You have certainly done a wrong thing. Again, he keep on asking question. Here we stop. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Jazakallahu khairan.